What's up, YouTube? We got a new knife day times 2. And number one, the box had a rip in it, so I had to tape it up. Number one, Spyderco Polestar. This is the CQI one that's in CTS BD1N. Also have the old school one, the original that's in CTS BD1. Great knives. And then this was the bargain of the century. .20 CV or M390 Kizer beg lighter, whatever you want to call it, or mini beg lighter. Frag titanium. They had these, but there was only one left. They had them. I paid 51, I think 51.02 or something like that. $51 on Amazon. I guess I got the last one though, because a few minutes later when I went back and looked at the listing, it was sold out. That was a smoking deal, $50. Yeah, that was a smoking deal. But these right now for the CQI Polestar in BD1N, I think they're around $90. And you know, yeah, it's a China-made knife. However, that design is fantastic, and you're getting pretty well done BD1N, and that is a really good performing steel for the money. This one ain't been broken in yet, and it's already smooth as butter. But you know, I mean, you're basically getting Spyderco. Like if you go with a Manix lightweight, the base model, for example, it's in BD1N. You're getting a quite high performance and really good quality steel for $90 in a fantastic Spyderco design that is beautiful in hand, really good geometry, fantastic blade shape. They're built well, they're super smooth. Yeah, the Polestar is a really great knife. You don't see or hear too much about it, but they're really good knives. Way better than the Tenacious. Forget about the steel. Just the design itself is better than the Tenacious. But when you factor in the steel, like when you could get this one here, they used to be around $70. You know, so you're about $15 more than the Tenacious. I'm sorry, but you'd have to be crazy to buy the Tenacious instead of add $15 and get the Polestar. The Polestar is just a better knife all the way around. Now that they're 90, you know, but that's a pretty substantial steel upgrade. Don't think BD1 and BD1N are this, you know, it's basically the same steel. No, that's BD1N is a far more capable steel than BD1. It's actually pretty high performance stuff. You know, it's about like comparing BD1 to people saying, oh, BD1, it's kind of like 8CR. You know, I understand why they compare it to that, but at the end of the day, this still performs better than 8CR for sure. And it just sharpens so nicely. BD1N sharpens so nicely. Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm a fan of the Polestar. It is a damn good model, and I don't understand why it's not. I mean, it may be very popular. I don't know. I don't see it talked about a lot. I don't see it hardly anybody with them. But yeah, the Polestar is a great model. If it's not super popular, it should be. And the mini beg letter, man, I don't know. I actually really love this knife. I have the Warncliffe version of it, or reverse Tanto, whatever you want to call it. That with micarta scales, and that's a great little knife. And you know, this one's that, but on steroids. And I was actually kind of surprised. Actually, that cut right there was from yesterday when I got this knife going like this, and it, you know, it caught me just like that. Really good factory edge. But anyways, what I was going to say, it's a hollow grind. It's a shallow hollow grind, but it is definitely a hollow grind. Comes down real nice and thin behind the edge. You know, I figured it'd be a flat grind, but it's a hollow. This was a score for $50. If they would, in fact, if they'd had more, I would have bought. I might have bought 2 more actually. My son would have been stoked. Son and daughter, for that matter, would have been stoked to get one of these. I really do wish they would have had 2 more of them. Great knife, great model. It's a stout little boy, I'll tell you that. It is not a super light knife. Good looking knife though. And a really good cutter. I've tested Kizer M390. I poked 2 pieces of it, I believe, and both of them was about 60 to 60.5. I'll poke that piece and see, but yeah, I expect it to be 60. I'd say it's better than the typical China D2 that you get. I'm sorry. Better than the typical China M390 you get that's like 58, 59, which is just a joke. 60's a joke, to be honest, but at least at 60 it performs reasonable. You know, in my opinion, M6, oh my god, thinking M690 because of the Spidey K I just got, but M390, it really becomes a different steel at 62. That's 62 plus is where it needs to be. At 60 though, it's at least decent. And for $50, I'm good with it. You know, would have I bought this at the 150? Hell no. Even at 100, hell no. But at 50, hell yeah. That knife is definitely worth $50. You know. Back to the Polestar. I'm telling you, if you've never handled this knife, never had one in hand, you ought to check one out, because man, it's just so comfortable in hand, and this thing is ready to do work. Like it's a good stout knife that's ready to do what you need it to do, and it's got pretty decent geometry. It's actually slightly thicker than your typical Spyderco geometry. These come right at about 20 thousandths behind the edge from the factory. So they are a little thicker than your typical Spyderco edge geometry, but they still cut very, very nicely. Drop this bad boy down to like 13, 14 degrees per side, and it is a cutter. Yeah. Great knife. Great knife. If you don't like the 50-50 choils, you know, this lets you get way up on that edge. You know, most Spydercos, I don't notch them. I just sharpen them all the way to the plunge. But on this specific model, as well, like the Tenacious, it's just easier to knock you a little sharpening choil in them, just because of the way this plunge sets. But yeah, that's no biggie. I probably won't put a plunge in choil in this one, but I did notch this one. Just makes it slightly easier to sharpen, so you're not at a funky angle to get, you know, on your stone. Yeah, but I do like the old school scales better. I think they look a little cooler than the great, this solid gray. You know, they're both good quality G10. They feel nice feeling G10, but I don't know, I think these look a little cooler. Both of them favor the show side slightly. This one a little more, but that's no problem. And take you 2 minutes. If you care about the blades being dead down the center, it's very easy. Spyderco's is really easy to get the blade centered with. Just take, you know, a minute or two at a time. Beautiful lockup, dead perfect. Couldn't ask for better lockup. Yep, great knife. Once they break in, they're butter smooth. No blade play. Like this one. And absolutely zero blade play, like a vault. Great knife, really is. The Polestar's pretty bad boy. This knife's also really nice in pocket too. It carries very nicely. Oh shit! Look what's on the table. I didn't. Yeah, that's the baby right there. Brand new Maximet Sage 5. This one definitely needs to break in. Super smooth, but needs to break in so it'll fall shut or fall down when you depress the lock bar. I got a couple of these. It's a good deal. Couldn't turn it down. But anyways, always fun to have a new knife day. This was another one that just come in too. I just did a video on it though, the spyderco. That is an awesome little knife. Too bad they don't make them anymore. One of the best slicers you'll ever put. For a factory knife, that's one of the best slicing knives you can buy, or used to could buy. Sadly, they're discontinued. I wish they wasn't, but they are. And it's not easy to find new ones, I'll tell you that. But it's a pretty badass little knife right here too, and I love this hollow because it is pretty damn thin behind the edge. I'll give it that. Feels probably like about 15 thousandths. Good looking knife too. Typical Kizer action, good detent, butter smooth, no blade play. Yeah, like a bolt. Lockup's perfect. Yep, great knife. Great deal at 50 bucks. Alright guys, I got some more coming in. I'll make some more new knife day videos. I got a bunch of knives coming in over the next, well hell, with how USPS has been lately, I don't know. Every package I get now is late. That spyderco, for example, was supposed to be here on the 1st. Got here today. Yeah, just everything. If it comes USPS, it's late now. And not one day neither. 3, 4, 5. I'd say over the last 2 months, every package I've had, except for maybe 1 or 2, has been between 3 and 10 days late. I don't know what's going on with them, but they need to get their acts together. They charge too much to be. Shipping's too expensive to have that many problems. Get your asses in line, USPS. All right, guys, y'all have a good one.